So over the weekend, I went to go see American Reunion, which is the next chapter in the American Pie series. And American Pie, for those of you who don't know, is basically the Bible for any kid that grew up in the 90s or is in high school. So American Reunion stars Jason Biggs, Allison Hannigan, and basically the whole gang that was in like the original American Pie films. And I've only seen one of the American Pie films, and that was the first one. And I actually really liked it. I still haven't gotten to seeing the others. I heard they weren't as good, but but the first one I really enjoyed. It was sweet. It was funny. It was just a great movie. So in this one, we see now that Jim and Michelle are married and they have a kid. And we see that that spark that was once there is kind of now gone. That was in their relationship, and we kind of see where everyone else is now, and we kind of seen that everyone else has kind of moved on. But then they all get an invitation to a reunion, and the whole gang's kind of getting back together, and that's how these people kind of meet each other and find each other again. And it's really interesting to see where these characters have gone and like what they want to do, like how some of them evolved and how some of them are still the same. So first off, let's talk about the performances. The movie has, of course, Jason Biggs in it, and he's fine in the movie. He's nothing special, but you know he's Jason Biggs. He's fine. But then there were some performances that weren't as good, like the guys who play Kevin and Finch. I didn't really love their performances that much. I feel like they really haven't gone on to big careers, and you can see why. I also feel that Tara Reid wasn't very good in the movie either. I feel like a lot of the supporting cast wasn't that great. You can see why a lot of them didn't have these successful careers. But there are two performances in this movie that really stood out and that I really liked. Of course, Sean William Scott, who plays Stifler, who's just one of the like this great character. He's great in the movie. Sean William Scott's been on a hot streak recently because he's been in Goon, which was he gave a great performance in that movie. And now this, which he gives another great performance in. And the other performance I thought was really good in this movie was Eugene Levy, who he's in a lot of really great movies. I feel like he's a really underrated actor, but I remember him from the first American Pie films, and I got most of my laughs from that film out of him. I thought he was so great in that film, and I believe he's even better in this film. And just on a little side note, if you want a great Eugene Levy movie, then rent or buy or whatever, get Best in Show, because that's a really hilarious one. Like that's a really hilarious movie, and it's one of my favorite comedies. Also, this is directed by the guys that did Harold and Kumar. I don't really know their names, but you can see like there are a lot of people, or two people, that were in Harold and Kumar that are in this movie. One of them, John Cho, who was in, I think, the other films too. I remember he had a small part in the first one. But yeah, he's in this one. And then there's someone else that gives a little cameo that was in Harold and Kumar. And I'm not going to give away who it is because I think it's a nice little surprise when you see it. But it was a pretty cool cameo. And I really just like the feel of this movie. Like, I like the how kind of had this whole like nostalgic kind of sentimental thing to it. Also, they played a lot of really great songs from the 90s. I really like the soundtrack that they had in this movie. And also a big theme that's in this movie is kind of like forgetting about the past, or just like kind of moving on from the past. Because for example, like Stifler, he's kind of still stuck in his high school days, and he's never really kind of changed at all. He's still the same old Stifler. And also Jim's dad, like who I said was played by Eugene Levy. His wife died, and he's never really kind of explored past that, but he does in this movie. He has a little affair with Stifler's mom, and you'll see that. It's very funny. And maybe this is just because I've only seen the first one, but I thought it was kind of weird how much Michelle has changed from the first one. Like in the first one, she seems like a really expendable character, and she doesn't really seem like she could evolve at all or anything. But in this one, she's much different, and she's not as Bandcamp centric anymore. In the end, it is a funny movie. A lot of the jokes like really do work, but a lot of the jokes don't too. Like a lot of them just really fall flat. But overall, I got a lot of really good chuckles and laughs out of this. So I do think that fans of the series will absolutely love this movie. If you like the first one or any of the other ones, then you'll probably like this. But I think newcomers might have a kind of a harder time liking it, just because it relies so much on the nostalgia of kind of like how these people have grown up. And I recommend at least seeing the first film before you go see this one, just because it relies so much on this emotional factor in some parts. And that's another thing I liked about this movie, is that it has really funny parts, but it could also switch to like kind of more of a serious and more heartwarming part too. And I love when comedies kind of have a little heart to them. So overall, I did like this movie. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like super funny. It wasn't anything new. But I did get a couple chuckles out of it. I did really like some performances, even though I didn't like some others. And if you were a fan of the series or are a fan of the series, then I definitely recommend that you go see this. I think you'll have a really good time. I didn't love this movie. I didn't hate it. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So in the comments below, tell me, have you seen this movie yet, and if you like it, and also tell me what's your favorite American Pie film in the series. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Alright, bye.